So you're here because you want to know if the Focus ST is a good daily driver or not. That means you're either in the market for one, or you already have one and you want to stick it into daily driver activities. I've been driving my ST daily now for 5 months and 6,000 miles, and I have a commute of about 84 miles back and forth to work each day. Well, the first thing we need to determine, what are the common issues with this car? The first common issue with this car, which I have experienced for myself, is a cracked cylinder head. The cylinder head on this car is designed with the exhaust manifold built into it. It's commonly referred to as a headifold, and this is where the cracks like to happen. When this occurs, you have one of two options. You can either replace your cylinder head with a brand new one, or you can replace the motor from a junkyard engine or a crate engine. In my case, I replaced the cylinder head with a brand new one from Ford, and I documented the install with a video uploaded to my channel. The link to that video will be in the description. The second common issue with the Focus ST occurs with the transmission. The factory synchros in this transmission are a terrible design and typically like to fail with the second gear synchro. Now, if the car is driven long after the second gear synchro has failed, you'll also end up with second gear damage, which was also my case on this car. Now, I bought a used transmission from LKQ with a 90-day warranty, and I've been driving on this transmission for the past 5 months without any issue. A third and most common issue with these cars occurs with the purge valve. One of the symptoms you might see of this is you go to fill up the car and the pump just keeps shutting off after a few seconds, or every time you fill up the car, you have a hard time starting afterward. This leads into other issues like a vapor canister failure and tank deformation, which has been documented in a Ford Technical Service Bulletin, and I've documented replacement of the vapor canister as well, and I'll also have a link to that in the description. And lastly, another item worth mentioning, which is just a wear item, is the valve cover gaskets and spark plug tube seals. These come in a set you can buy through Molly, and I bought mine on Rock Auto pretty cheap. I think they were like $40. So if you have oil leaking down the engine from the top, or the spark plug valleys are full of oil when you go to change the plugs, it's time for a new valve cover gasket set. This is a very easy job that you can do on your own, doesn't require any special tools, and there are plenty of videos that show you how to do this, as well as the service manual available online. I'll put a link to the service manual in the description as well. Now that brings us to mileage expectations for this car. I typically get anywhere between 23 to 27 miles a gallon, depending on the outside environment and depending on how I drive the car as well. I drive my ST like a normal car with a little bit of spirited driving here and there, and I'll typically see between 25 to 27 miles a gallon. Well, there's some preemptive strikes you can do to minimize the possibility of failures down the road. One of the first things you can do is with transmission fluid. Ford recommends a dual clutch transmission fluid for these, but there are people in the community, myself included, who run 2 quarts of Liqui-Moly 7590 GL4 Plus rated gear oil, as well as one 300 milliliter bottle of Liqui-Moly Ceratec. I've been running this cocktail since I replaced the transmission at the recommendation of Dakota Gain on the Focus T owners Facebook page, and the shifts are just as smooth as could be. Another key point with a Focus ST is to run a nice high quality oil and filter. I run 6 quarts of AMSOIL 5W30 in this car because it's been proven time and again to be one of the top shelf oils you can buy. And I'm not saying that because I'm an AMSOIL dealer, which I am. I'm saying that because I've used this oil for most of my life and I know it's superior. Now, with that being said, if you'd like to run AMSOIL at your home, your business, your garage, whatever, click the link in the description to become one of my preferred customers to get discounts and promotions throughout the year. Now, I run a Motorcraft FL400S oil filter in this car that allows me to achieve 6 even quarts of oil at each oil change. Now, as far as spark plugs go, you should run an NGK 6510 in this 2.0 EcoBoost. These engines tend to run a little bit on the rich side, so that plug will get you the most time in between changes. Now we'll get into a few recommendations on how to drive the car properly. As with most high-strung 4-cylinder turbo cars, these cars can suffer from LSPI as well, which is low-speed pre-ignition. A couple ways to prevent this is to let your oil come up to normal operating temperature before you start ripping in the car. This is the very left-hand gauge on your center stack of gauges, and it should be somewhere up in the middle of the range. The other recommendation is not to shift under 3,000 RPM anytime you're doing a full throttle pull. LSPI can cause cracked ringlands, which would mean the death of this engine, or at the very least a loss of compression. One of the last things I'm going to recommend to you, if you desire to tune this car, do not use off-the-shelf tunes. Only use tunes from a reputable tuner like HP Tuners. Now, if you'd like a nice cost-effective avenue for a big turbo kit and a tune from HP Tuners, reach out to Dakota Gain of Boost Ninjas. I've put a link in the description to his site. He is one of the top performers in the Focus ST community. He'll answer any question you have, and he'll give you all the recommendations that you need. So now that I've sufficiently scared you off from either buying an ST or daily driving the one you currently have, would I recommend daily driving this car? Absolutely. This car's tons of fun. It brings a smile on my face every 84-mile commute I put on this car. And really, all 6,000 miles that I've put on this car in the last 5 months have been trouble-free. So do I recommend it as a daily driver? Absolutely, 100% yes. Oh, I almost forgot another key point on this car. Do not run less than 89 octane fuel in it. It'll tell you in your owner's manual, and that goes for any turbo car. So in conclusion, yes, buy a Focus ST, and yes, daily drive it, and no, don't worry about every single day you take it out if it's going to break. I hope I gave you some great recommendations, and I hope I also put your mind at ease a little bit about owning one of these cars. I have a bunch of videos on my channel about this car, from upgrades to how-tos, so search through my channel and you'll see some of that content as well. So have a fantastic day, and I'll see you